Police responded to a disturbance at the 12,700 block of North Houston Waslin. Upon their arrival, they encountered multiple juveniles and that were shot. The juveniles ranged from ages 12 to 14. They were all transported to nearby hospitals. Currently, there's one in critical condition and two in stable condition. Our crime scene investigators and our violent crimes unit investigators responded to the scene and are currently conducting early stages of their investigation. We do have a fourth juvenile detained and also an adult male detained. It is believed the incident occurred due to an attempted aggravated robbery that involved the juveniles attempting to rob the adult male. During the incident, the juveniles approached the male and they were displaying pistols. The adult male retrieved his own pistol and shot the juveniles. We ask the community for your patience because we are going to be out here for a couple of more hours or so, processing the scene, canvassing the area, interviewing our witnesses, interviewing all possible victims, and also the suspects. We do have also investigators at the hospital, and we will provide further results and updates on the condition of the juveniles that were shot.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. We got to talk about another story that is a great example of F around and find out. Okay, this is the F around and find out Christmas edition story. That's what this story is. Involving four young scholars, extremely young scholars. We're talking about young teenagers who decided it would be a good idea to try to rob a law-abiding citizen in Northwest Harris County, aka Houston, right? In the Houston area. And it didn't work well for them, right? It backfired big time as three of the young scholars ended up getting smoked. They ended up getting shot. And to my knowledge, they're still alive, okay, but they are injured. One of them injured critically, okay, and they learned the hard way that adult activities come with adult consequences. And stories like this are very important to highlight because you have to make examples out of people, including teenagers who want to live a life of crime. And if they decide to participate in these types of activities, hey, these are the type of consequences that result when you try to rob people, when you try to hurt people who are law-abiding citizens. There are people in this country that are not going to roll over. There are people in this country that are going to defend themselves with their Second Amendment rights. Okay, so without further ado, let's react to this story because this story is pretty crazy.
A teen boy is in critical condition at the hospital after he and other teens were shot while trying to rob a man in Northwest Harris County. Ugochi Aloka joins us live from Roslyn Street with more on how all this happened.
Yes, Cheryl, really a major with the Harris County Sheriff's Office, says a total of 4 boys ages 12 to 14 years old allegedly tried to rob a man at Willow Plaza Apartments, which is located directly behind us, right across the street from where we are now. Now, that same man pulled out a gun and started shooting after that happened. Now, one neighbor shares how he quickly jumped into action to try to help one of the boys hit.
I screamed out to him, "Are you okay?" And he put his hand up in there and he screamed for help, and I went and tried to help.
Bruce Bailey says at the time he had no idea an attempted robbery had just taken place a few doors down from where he lives.
My neighbor right here screamed across the way, "Hey, are you okay?" And I told him, "Hey, this guy's down." And we called HPD or Sheriff's Department, call the Sheriff's Department and the ambulance to come and pick the kid up. Of course, at that time, I didn't know it was a little kid.
That kid, investigators tell us, is one of 4 boys a man says allegedly tried to rob him before he shot 3 of them.
Yeah, so here's the thing. They keep calling these young scholars, they keep calling them boys, kids. But is that really the case? Okay, I personally think that when you decide to try to rob somebody, when you try to hurt somebody, when you commit these type of crimes, you're no longer a child anymore, right? You don't get treated like that, okay? You get treated like an adult. And again, these children had to face adult consequences because they wanted to participate in adult activities. It's really that simple. It's really that simple. Again, children don't run around trying to rob people And apparently, some of the children, right, had a weapon on them, which again is why they got shot.
The other neighbor came and held his hand and was talking to him and consoling him, trying to keep him alive.
That same boy his neighbor helped, last checked, was taken to a trauma center to undergo surgery. Then investigators say 2 more boys shot returned to the scene for medical attention and were taken to the hospital. Investigators tell us a 4th boy came back to the scene and was detained. Neighbors were troubled to hear that the boys had weapons on them.
Of all things, being at Christmas, and this is a child, first thing come to my mind is, number 1, where's the parents? Number 2, if you got here with a gun, what are you doing out here with a gun?
Yeah, so unfortunate there. Now, within the last 2 hours, I reached out to the Harris County Sheriff's Office. The PIO with them says they are checking on a few things regarding this investigation today. We do know currently they are processing several weapons that were recovered from the scene to see and really determine if they are real guns or BB guns. Reporting live in Northwest Harris County, Ugochi Iloka, KHOU 11 News.
Regardless, the weapons, real or fake, should not have been used to attempt to rob somebody. And when you are a young teenager and you use a weapon, real or fake, to rob somebody, I'm not sure, what do you think the outcome is likely going to be? Especially, again, when you live in a state where a lot of people are armed, right? Walking around with their firearms on them, what do you think is going to happen? Again, this is a classic case of effing around and find out. But these are stories that have to be highlighted because you have to send a message to criminals, right? If you want to live a life of crime, this is the result, right? This is what you're going to get. These children probably thought that they could get an easy Christmas lick, okay? And they ended up getting licked, right? They're the ones that got licked. Furthermore, the question has to be asked about the parents. Where are the parents? Where the parents at? I think that the police should be talking to them about why is it that you're letting your 12 and 14-year-olds live a life of crime? How do they get access to a gun? Again, a lot of this stuff is a parenting problem, okay? I guarantee you, those kids probably raised by single mothers. And they're probably raised by gang members and thugs and other criminals in the neighborhoods that they live in. And this is how they learn how to do stuff like this, right? This type of stuff starts in the home. And any parent that allows their children to be out at night with weapons, robbing people, is probably not a good parent, okay? And honestly, I think it should be held accountable, to be honest with you, right? I think if you started holding these parents accountable for their kids out here committing these crimes, again, like this, you would see a lot of this stuff go away. And what really kills me about some of these parents, right, is that they let their kids live a life of crime, and then as soon as something happened to the kid, they out here boohoo whining and crying about what happened to Raekwon while wearing a white t-shirt with his face on it, right? So I'm just saying, to me, it's one of those things where I think the parents have to be held accountable. These so-called children, they need to be held accountable as well too, okay? They should be charged to the fullest extent of the law. It's a story that, I think a lot of people will say is a sad story, but ultimately, in my opinion, I think that it's a story that hopefully will send a message to other criminals and young scholars who think about trying to rob people, especially over the holidays. You better think twice. You better think twice. You're better off, trying to make a living, trying to get some money the right way, okay? And, you can keep your life and not get sent to the hospital. But let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.